Good morning, everyone. And thank you so much for joining us for the launch of the Office of Utilities Regulations Guaranteed Standards Jingle competition. Today is the launch and also a creative workshop. And apart from you who are here today at the Jamaica Conference Center, we also have a virtual audience via Zoom and via our social media platforms on Facebook and YouTube. And we want to say hello to everyone, both here as well as those on Zoom and on our social media platforms. My name is Elizabeth Bennett Marsh, and I'm the Public Education Specialist at the Office of Utilities Regulation. Now, not many persons are aware of the guaranteed standards, which are basic service standards to which we want you to hold the Jamaica Public Service Company and the National Water Commission accountable. It has been in effect for many years, but many persons are not aware of it. So we huddled at the O.U.R and we said, how can we get persons more in tune to these standards, be more aware of it? And we said, okay, let's have a jingle competition, which will put money in your pockets and knowledge in your brain. Ha, that's my attempt at a joke. So it's going to be fun, as you'll soon realize. See the laugh now. And without further ado, I invite our Deputy Director General, Cheryl Lewis, to deliver the official welcome and the opening address. And in true COVID fashion, she'll be joining us virtually. Cheryl, over to you. She's not on as yet. Okay. And so we'll wait for Cheryl to log on. In the meantime, we don't leave any dead air. And so I invite Miss Avery Crooks, Music Development Specialist at the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, to deliver a message. Miss Crooks, can we give her a warm welcome?
Pleasant morning, everyone. It is indeed my pleasure to be here with you this morning. I'm seeing familiar faces, so I feel quite comfortable. It was a pleasure for me to be asked to be here and to be a part of this initiative. Anything in society that is going to contribute to growth, development, education, and anything positive is something that all of us should be a part of. It is a well-known fact that music is an excellent teaching tool. A youngster will learn a song, 3, 4, 5 verses, chorus, bridge, ending with all the oohs and ahs and everything, as little as they are. And you send them to read maybe a book or, an excerpt from a poem, and you question them on it and they just can't remember. That's just how it is. We saw it the other day right here in Jamaica with our COVID standards, what the Prime Minister's office put out. A little jingle with the Prime Minister saying, stay at home. That stuck. It stuck with everybody, and we kept telling each other, remember, if you don't need to go out, stay at home. So we know there are various studies that have been done to prove how effective it is to have music carrying content in education, and I've taught music for several years. I've seen it in action, and my colleagues here too have also witnessed that, I'm sure, where, boys in their early years who think that it is girls who should be doing music. Ironically, later on, it is the males that stay with the music. And older people who are to learn, such as those in teachers' colleges and so on, who are much older, you find that once you incorporate the use of music as a tool to carry the content, whatever content it is amazing to see how effective it is. People remember, that's just a fact. There is a quote from Edutopia that says, music will get you up and going. It is the greatest way to teach social and emotional skills. As a music educator for over 24 years, as I mentioned before, and Miss Marsh also mentioned that this tool cannot be overemphasized, the tool of music. And so we know the O.U.R is on an excellent path. They are doing the right things, they have done their research, and so they are here to help us to understand what they are about. Because many of us, I remember when I found out what the O.U.R was about, it was way in my adult life. You know, I just associated it as one of those organizations, just like JPS and just like NWC. And we as consumers, we should be benefiting from what the O.U.R has to offer, because they have been set up for us consumers, and many of us are still unaware. But I know that this jingle competition is going to make a difference. This jingle competition will make a difference. Another positive outcome is the opportunity being given for individuals to showcase their talents. This is in fact a big deal. It is a big deal, and I want to commend the O.U.R for this, and also for planning this workshop where prospective entrants will be given training and guidance in composing, utilizing compositional techniques, and they also have someone on board who will educate all of us as to our rights relating to our compositional works, because many of us really are not aware of those things and we can be taken advantage of. So there's a training aspect here today, so kudos to O.U.R for that. And then, of course, there is money to be won, like real cash, real cash. So we have all the wonderful ingredients in place. The O.U.R has secured the best and brightest to be a part of their team. Those who will be conducting the workshop today, I know that you will benefit from the presentations that they will give. I want to give my vote of commendation and to support this venture, and I know that it is going to be a success. And so I call on all Jamaicans. This is for a wide age group. That is another positive thing. It's not just for adults, it's not just for young people, it's for everybody. And we know the wealth of musical talent that is in this country. And at this time, it is something to sweeten us. It is something to sweeten us on the way. You know, we are locked in, the kids are at school, struggling to, you know, sit before the computer to do mathematics and social studies and biology and everything else, even PE. Oh dear, I watch my son struggle. But you know, this has come at an opportune time to sweeten us. So we will be educated as to what the O.U.R is about, the opportunity to showcase your talent. We are learning about how to really put our works together as composers. You may have just that little idea, or you may have something already in place, but there are experts here today who will guide you along that path to say, this is the best way to do it, why not think of this, and so on. And then you have the opportunity to win cash. So what better combination? We have everything that we need for success. So I want to thank you again for having me here, Mrs. Marsh and your team. Commendations to you. You notice I've said it so many times. Yes, because it's true. It's true. I'm really impressed, especially coming from where I'm coming from. Yes, I'm very impressed. So I give my support to this, and I encourage those of us here and those who are watching live, share, tell your friend what's happening here. They can tune in, they can be a part of this creative workshop and enter the competition. Thank you very much, everyone, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much, Miss Crooks. You know, when we were thinking of this competition and we did our feelers, and invariably we were told, if you're going to launch such a competition, you have to get the input and the blessing of two main persons if you get it from nobody else. One was Miss Crooks, and the other person was Mr. Silpot. So, without further ado, I invite the music education officer. I understand he's the only one who is the music education officer at the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, Matthew Silpot, to deliver a message. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome him.
Where will we go when the application form drop and everybody download? Well, the O.U.R have it with the jingle thing and flash it. That is my take on the jingle thing. Good morning, everybody, and what an August occasion. It's so good to be here, and through this forum, COVID has presented so many positive things, and this is one big one of them. Thank you to the O.U.R for this initiative and for the opportunity for young people who are aspiring musicians. We have a lot of talent in Jamaica, but sometimes it's not taken too seriously, those of us who are in education. And, you know, my message really is to go back to the original basis of music when music was a conversation, you know, forgetting theory, forgetting all the Western art musicians, the composers, and all these things, when you started with a creative aspect and a conversation. So if I say, doop tap da da pop pop pop, as Avery, what do you say? Dap tap pop tap, siretsi. Right, so we start a conversation going and get your creative minds going and that type of thing. So get back to that place. And I want to leave three things with you. And again, highlighting what Avery mentioned with Elizabeth and the O.U.R. I was really seeing the need for this. Because again, like Avery, the O.U.R. in terms of the functions, I knew about it. You listen to the radio, you hear the news about the O.U.R., but you don't know what it is. And what better way to get education and information across with our landscape through music, but through music. And one of the three things I want to leave with us, or with our young aspiring competitors, is one, listening. And I'm going through aspects of music. When you're doing music, you have to listen. So when you're coming up with your creations, you listen. Listen for your ideas, listen to what your mind is telling you. Be an active listener and not a passive one. Another thing is that be creative. Don't be afraid to put your ideas out there. A lot of times we have some concepts or we think we have an idea, but because of what the normal is or what people may look at you and say, you know, fear of unknown, let me say that. So because I present an idea that is not normal to you, it cannot work. But we want to get to that place where we're back to creativity and composing. And the third thing I want to leave is perform with purpose. So after we've listened, after we've created, then we perform. And we can use these three parameters that we do in music education across all life. You listen, you perform, you create, you compose, and you perform to your best ability. All of these things you can apply to any area. And that's why, you know, the debate is out there, but we who are music practitioners know that music is the only important subject where all our concepts can apply right across the board. And we say that without apology. We love this area and we are passionate about it. And a lot of times, the people who see us enjoying ourselves think we're just idling, but we're enjoying our own process. We're enjoying the impact of music. We're enjoying what we are creating. We're enjoying what we are performing. And that's the aspect of it. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information speaks within our national standards curriculum. We look at constructivism, which is student-centeredness, looking at the student. So you are, as the learner, your needs are to the forefront. So it's just in the same, your creative ideas, your performance, your goals, and all of those aspirations will be to the forefront. So have fun in the process, enjoy the process, and enjoy the returns of the process. These are my few words in Jesus' name.
Thank you so much, Mr. Silpot. And if ever you need to change careers, I can put in a word for you with the turn a DJ or a singer or someone. So I want to acknowledge in my audience today, we have a small audience here, persons in virtual land, but we also, it's a rich audience, I find. So we have some secondary schools that are represented here today, and I want to thank them for coming, including some of their students. The Music Teachers Association, the president is here. Ms. Russell, welcome. In addition, we have the Ministry of Education, the Combined Disabilities Association. We also have Mrs. Goff, the Executive Director, represented. Mrs. Goff, welcome. Because we find it very important, because O.U.R is very big on accessibility. We recognize that a number of our musicians have various disabilities, but you'll never know from their talent, and they should never be judged because of their talent, because of their disabilities. We have them as well. And we have other persons who are here. Soretsi Small, who has a music club, Avant Music Academy. We want to welcome him. And there are other persons here as well. I'll go throughout the morning just recognizing them. But we're going to take Yvonne, who will do an ice break before we go into the workshop section of our program as we move the program along. So Yvonne Nicholson is the Director of Consumer and Public Affairs, and she will be having some nice quizzes for you. Let's test your knowledge, right? Okay, Yvonne. Can we have a warm welcome for Yvonne?
Morning, everyone. This is the fun part. Well, the prizes are not as big, but nevertheless. So we at the O.U.R are certainly happy to be at the forefront of what we think is a brilliant idea of incorporating music with our public education thrust. Like you, we believe music is the food of life. So we have prizes. We're going to play a short, simple game just to get your creative juices flowing. And the name of this game is Guess the Name of the Product or Service Behind the Jingle. So you'll be asked to guess the name of the product or service for the jingle. And so we have divided it in two. 3 prizes are for persons who are here, and 3 are for those who are in our virtual audience, and 1 is up for grabs for anyone. So you have 2 jobs. Listen to the jingle, and then guess the name of the product or service for the jingle. We'll play 7 jingles, and we'll pause after each one, then you can guess. All right, and the prizes are, this is not a $1 million prize. These are some small but nice prizes. Tumblers, domino sets, and water bottles. So if you are in person, the winner is the first person to guess the jingle, the first person who raises their hand and gets recognized and has the correct answer, let me add. If you're on Zoom, the winner is the first one who submits the correct answer in the chat. All right, so are you ready? Let's roll the first one. I can't sing, you know, so you're... Meow, 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 meow. This is for in audience, right? Cat food? Clothes? Kingston, huh? Cat music? Nobody? All right, we're going to give the answers after. Oh, it's going to come up now. Okay, great.
Meow Mix comes in 2 varieties, original and seafood.
It's called Meow Mix.
The product. So she said cat food. And is the product cat food?
It's called Meow Mix.
And it's the product. Yes. I think she got it. The product, which is cat food. Right? So she probably deserved 2 prizes after that still, you know. You're the, can, please? Meow, meow, oh. Congratulations. All right, so it is the product. And it's even better if you get the product name. All right, so let's go for it. Number 2. Wasn't, I didn't, the Olympic Games. Okay, okay. Congratulations. All right, so that was the Olympics. The third one for our in-person guesses. Okay. Kit Kat, okay. That is it. The Crunch, the Kit Kat bar. The winner. Congratulations. So I hope you're all listening. The persons are going to enter to how these jingles are indicative of the product, somehow in the sound. All right, this now is for the virtual audience, right, Liz? Yes. All right, so, and it's the first person who submits the correct answer in the chat room. All right, so they're answering and we haven't played, okay, all right. Let's go, number 4.
Hey, little fella, gotta change your touch. What you thought was enough might be too much. See, it's more cushiony than ever before. With Ultra, less is more.
Okay, who is the winner?
Somebody said cartoon dark, or somebody said shaman. Tyler Whelan said shaman.
Charmin, that's correct? Okay, so we have a winner.
Less is more. Less is
Charmin
more.
toilet paper.
Than the regular
Great.
Ripple brand.
Excellent. Next.
Oh, I'd love to be a wiener. That is what I truly like to be. 'Cause if I were a wiener, everyone would be in love with me.
Somebody said sausages, hot dogs. Okay, Ramon. I don't have Ramon's full name. Said Oscar Mayer.
Oh, Oscar Mayer Wiener. Okay, that's congratulations.
baloney has a first name. It's O-S-C-A-R.
Don't worry, we're going to bring it home to Jamaica. Don't worry. I mean, we know we love our foreign things, but we're going to bring it home. Right, okay. So for our virtual winners, you can claim your prizes at the O.U.R's office in Kingston, and it's a good chance to learn about us. We're at 36 Trafalgar Road on the 3rd floor of the PCJ Resource Center. And it's right beside Pulse. All right, so number 6, this is the last one for the virtual audience.
What would you do for a bar? What would you do for a bar?
Okay, this one. Well, okay. Did somebody say chocolate bar?
Somebody has. No, Ramon, you're not eligible again. You came closest. Should we give the...
Who said chocolate bar?
Craigie Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Craigie Walker says Klondike bar.
Okay, great. Okay. Although I'd give something to the person who said chocolate bar. Okay, all right. All right, so congrats to the first 6 winners. Let's now go, we're bringing it home to Jamaica. And this one, you have to guess it, because the person who is in it, correct me, Liz, is one of our judges. See if you can recognize this voice. Roll it.
I believe I can be anything I want to be. I can succeed in this reality. With JM and me, security, the right solution.
Oh, it's the judge. Sorry, it's the judge's. Come again.
One of the judges.
It's one of the judges. So it's the name of the judge that we want.
Yes.
Right. It's the name of the person. This time it's not the product. It's the name of the person who sang it. Play. You want us to play it again? Anybody who said Conroy is wrong, so don't repeat.
No, it's not.
Check virtually. Check the chat.
I'm checking the chat. Okay, so somebody in chat has now got it.
Okay.
Andre Archer says Wayne Mcgregor.
All right. Can we play it again just to hear Wayne's voice?
I can succeed in this reality. With JM and me, security, the right solutions for me, and all I need to know is easy as JM and me.
All right. Congrats, everyone. Remember to pick up your prizes. Thanks for playing. And the judges will give us some more details about the competition. We look forward to having an awesome time. And good luck, everyone.
Thank you very much, Yvonne. I hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, so we now move into the workshop section, which will be very short and very interactive, I promise you. The first presentation, if you can bring up that program on our screen, VT, is Rules of Engagement, the competition rules, which will be presented by one of our judges, Wayne Mcgregor. Now, Wayne is an in-house counsel at the Office of Utilities Regulation and an attorney at law with almost 20 years at the bar. He is also a semi-professional musician of almost 30 years' experience, playing with various local artists, performing mainly as lead singer and guitarist of club band Black Zebra at many popular night spots in Kingston and at venues throughout the island. Wayne has also provided talent, including vocals and voiceover work, we just heard one of them a while ago, on a few jingles here and there, including some presently in rotation. It is this diversified experience that he brings to the table as a judge in this competition. Please help me to welcome Wayne Mcgregor.
Morning, everyone. Morning. Can you hear me? Welcome, everybody, both... No, I'm keeping it on. One of the side effects of COVID, you have to be very careful. All right, welcome everyone, both virtually and in-house. My name is Wayne Mcgregor, as we said before, and I'm here to present something a little bit more mundane than what we've heard. We've heard lovely messages from Miss Crooks, from Mrs. Silpart, and of course that lovely game set forth by Ms. Nicholson. But we're going to now speak about the rules of engagement for the jingle competition. Let me see if this is working. Okay, I'm wondering if this, thank you. All right, the O.U.R is a body corporate established under the Office of Utilities Regulation Act to regulate the provision of prescribed utility services in Jamaica. It sounds a bit boring, but prescribed utility service basically is the generation of electricity and provision of telecom services, and of course, supply and distribution of water. Now, the O.U.R was established in 1997 to contribute to national development by effective regulation of utility services. And of course, it enables consumers to get access to modern, reliable, and affordable and quality utility services, whilst ensuring that service providers have the opportunity to make a reasonable return on investment. Next slide, please. I wonder if we can get this fixed. Anyway. Can you go back? All right, now the guaranteed standards were developed by the O.U.R to deal with the two major utility companies, the Jamaica Public Service Company Limited and the National Water Commission, to ensure that they're held accountable for high quality service. Because of course, we pay our bills, we demand high quality service. And of course, the guaranteed standards are also there for private water providers. But unfortunately, data from several national customer satisfaction surveys conducted by the O.U.R indicate that the awareness of these guaranteed standards by residential and business customers remains very limited. And with many customers saying that they know little to nothing about the service standards for both the JPS and NWC. So of course, as Liz so wonderfully referred to before, in an effort to increase awareness, the O.U.R is embarking on this guaranteed standards jingle competition. So of course, I'm here to tell you, as pedantic as it may sound, all the rules that apply to how you're going to enter that competition. Next slide, please. All right, so basically, the rules of when you're going to enter and what is going to govern what you submit. The guaranteed standard jingle must incorporate lyrics from the JPS and NWC guaranteed service standards. Of course, you can find these on the O.U.R website or on the websites of any of those entities. And it's expected that the jingle will stand the test of time and it will not be subject to trend or fad. So we don't want a jingle that is going to sound in 2 years like the latest millennial fad of today. You know, we don't want anything that sounds like flitty and, of no substance. Something that will stand up and you can hear it 5 years later and say, oh, well, you recognize that. The jingle can either be in standard English, patois, or a blend of both, as long as the message is clear and can access cross all demographics. The jingle is expected to be versatile, so it can be shortened to be used across a range of media, such as online, audio, video, etc. And the jingle must be appropriate and should resonate with the O.U.R's audiences, incorporating relevant elements such as lyrics, melody, rhythm, and with the target audiences, such as the stakeholders, the consumers, utility providers, and so that they can identify with it. So basically, the jingle must have something that the listener can immediately latch on to and, relate to. And of course, the jingle must include original lyrics, melody, and rhythm. Next slide, please. Now, who can enter the competition? You have two categories. Category 1 is open to all Jamaicans 20 years old and over. And category 2 is what we call the students category. And students in registered secondary schools are members of music clubs who are between 12 and 19 years old. And of course, members of staff of the O.U.R or their relatives or persons that are associated with advertising or marketing companies doing business with the O.U.R are prohibited from entering. Next slide, please. Okay, so the number of entries. There's no fee to enter the competition, and each entry must contain one jingle of no more than 1 minute in length. Persons can only enter one category, either one entry per person in the open category, or one entry per student in the students category. So we have to make that very, very clear. Each entry should have original lyrics, melody, and rhythm, so no sampling and all of that. Of course, it's not a hip-hop competition, it's a jingle competition. And of course, a copy of the written lyrics must be submitted with each entry, because of course, if we're going to be using a mixture of English and vernacular, the lyrics may be subject to open interpretation. We don't want that. So of course, a copy of the written lyrics must be submitted. Next slide, please. Next one. All right, the size of the entries. Each entry must be submitted in audio only. Jingles must not be more than 20 megabytes in size. Only soft copies of entries must be submitted. And of course, entries must be submitted in MP3 audio format only. Next slide, please. Now, on the entry forms, each entry must be accompanied by an entry form. Entries submitted without the requisite entry form will not be accepted. And of course, I put in red. Entrants should be sure to include their social media handle on their entry form. So if you're Joe Schmo 635, put that there. If you're Big Man 123, and so on and so forth, we know all the different modalities, we don't need to go further. And of course, entry forms can be downloaded from the O.U.R's website, www.our.org.jm. Next slide, please. All right, submissions. I'm sorry if that's a bit small, but sometimes when you save presentation, Word and Office does, strange and arcane things to it. Okay, submissions. Entrants must use only original music for their entries. Entries must be reproducible in long and short versions. Lyrics must be clearly heard about the music bed, so we must hear everything clearly. Entrants must incorporate the name Office of Utilities Regulation and O.U.R in their lyrics. O.U.R, Office of Utilities Regulation. Not so cheesy though. The use of O.U.R's tagline, regulating utilities for the benefit of all, is optional. You can use it, it will help, but you don't have to. Each entry must be the original work of the artist and must not include, be based on, or derived from any pre-existing or third-party music, lyrics, or melody. Free of any copyright or intellectual property claims or infringement, both present and foreseeable, and easily recognizable as a jingle pertaining to the guaranteed standards. And they must have lyrics, as I said before, that are clear and easy to understand. And of course, we're going to have what we call a rubric, which will be used to determine shortlisted entrants and used in the judging of those who are shortlisted. Next slide, please. I don't know if you guys can see that because it looks a lot better on the laptop than it may look on the screen. But basically what the rubric does, it tells you, I'm not going to go through the whole thing immediately, but we're going to go through a little bit. So lyrics, basically 16 to 20 points. Lyrics are extremely catchy, promote the GS line, guaranteed standards, flow well with the rhythm, melody, contains 3 or more qualities of an effective jingle, short, catchy, so on and so forth. So we have a point system for lyrics, melody, presentation, originality, music, and overall effectiveness. And basically you get a certain amount of points depending on how you fall within these categories. Next slide, please. Of course, execution, meaning not execution as in cessation of life, but how you actually push forth the jingle. The competition will be executed in 2 phases. Phase 1, the competition will be open to all Jamaicans who meet the qualifications as we set out before. Participants will be required to submit a jingle that is no longer than 1 minute in length. And online workshops will be conducted where experts will provide tips on how to create great jingles. And of course, we have some of those wonderful experts here with us today. These online workshops will be posted on the O.U.R's YouTube page for access at any time. And snippets of these workshops will be rotated on O.U.R's social media pages and its website as part of the promotion of the event. And of course, as I said before, entries must be submitted in audio MP3 format only. Next slide, please. Phase 1 continued. Submissions will only be accepted electronically. No hard copies will be accepted. Entries must be sent directly to the email address provided below, and entrants have the option of using file sharing apps to send submissions to the email address. However, the opening of such entries must not be password protected. Password protected entries will not be accepted. An expert panel of judges will select the top 6 entries across both categories. And the top 6 entries will go on to compete in an online social media competition. That's now we're going to phase 2. Now, phase 2, this round will include online voting. The top 6 entries from each category will be uploaded onto the O.U.R's social media and website pages. An online and mass media campaign will encourage persons to vote for their top picks using an established portal which will be monitored by the O.U.R. Online votes will constitute 40% of the total votes, with an expert judging panel contributing to 60% of the total votes. In the event of a tie, the judges will conduct a blind vote, and the judges' decisions are final. And if the O.U.R decides on a winning jingle for use in its campaign, the winner must be available to professionally record the jingle and participate in interviews and so on and so forth where necessary. Next slide, please. Now, when it comes to copyright and ownership, all jingles, all entries submitted must be in accordance with the copyright laws of Jamaica. And if you are hazy on that, the Copyright Act is available at jaipo.gov.jm. On completion, the O.U.R shall retain all copyright and ownership of the 4 top jingles, open and students, in all formats. And all entries will become the property of the O.U.R. By submitting an entry, the winning 4 entrants agree that any and all intellectual property rights are deemed to have been assigned to the O.U.R. And except where prohibited by law, an entry submission into this competition constitutes permission to use the winner's names, likeness, prize information, and information provided on the entry form for publicity purposes without further permission or compensation. So that is something that we have to make very, very clear. So if anybody is thinking of anything actionable, we have that covered. The top entries, next slide please. Yes, thank you. Top entries must be placed on the O.U.R's website after the winners have been announced. And the O.U.R reserves the right to modify the winning jingle to better fit its needs as such. The O.U.R shall have the right to adapt, edit, modify, or otherwise use the winning submission in part or in its entirety in whatever manner it deems appropriate. The O.U.R reserves the right to use the entries for future promotional purposes. And the O.U.R may decide not to select a winner if, in its view, the entries do not meet the required standard that we've set forth here today. Next slide, please. All right, how and when to submit your entries? Entries must be submitted by email to gsjingle@gmail.com. It's very clear there. Make sure gsjingle@gmail.com. By 2021, January 29, at 11:59 p.m. So we give you right up until the nth before we reach 12 p.m. So you can't say you didn't know. You get up to 11:59. Either directly to the email address or by using a file sharing application sent to this email address. And of course, as I said before, this app should not require a password to access the files. Each submission must be accompanied by a completed entry form, and no late entry will be accepted. And the O.U.R is not responsible for lost, late, misdirected, illegible, incomplete, or otherwise unusable entries, including entries that are lost or unusable due to computer, internet, electronic issues. Your dog ate it, it fell in the pool. Thank you. Next slide, please. Judging criteria. Entries will be judged on the following criteria, which I spoke to before in the rubric, but it bears repetition here. Lyrics, melody, presentation, originality, music, and overall effectiveness. And of course, next slide please, selection of winners and prizes. In the event that the competition winners provide incorrect or invalid contact details, so make sure you fill out the form properly. The O.U.R is not responsible for any inability to contact the winner regarding prize notification. The winner in each category and the overall winner will be selected based on a combination of online public voting and by a panel of 3 judges consisting of 2 external and 1 internal professional in the field. Next slide, please. And of course, now we come to the important part, the money. Category 1, open. The first place prize will be a cash prize of $250,000. Second place cash prize, a respectable 100,000 Jamaican dollars. Category 2, students. First place, students cash prize of Jamaican $250,000. Teacher, cash prize of $100,000. And second place, cash prize of $100,000. And teacher, cash prize of $75,000. So, yes, of course, we have to show due respect to the teachers. My mom is one, and I have to report to her when I get back home. All right, competition rules. The competition opens on 2020 November 19, that is today, 8:30 a.m. So it has opened. We are now in train. The competition closes on 2021 January 29, as I said before, 11:59 p.m. You know, right up to 12. Eastern Standard Time. And the winning entry will be announced in April 2021. So I hope that wasn't too mundane and too droll, but we have to get the technicalities and the bits and pieces sorted out. Thank you so much for your time today, and welcome once again. Good luck to all entrants. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Wayne, for that. And just to let you know that the competition rules, the rubric, the entry forms, both for the students category and the open category, as well as the guaranteed standards jingle for NWC, guaranteed standards, full stop, for NWC and JPS are available on our website. There will be a special dedicated page for the guaranteed standards jingle competition. So log on, you'll see it on our homepage, and when you click on it, you'll have access to all the important information. So don't worry if you didn't get anything that Wayne just said a while ago. I know a lot of you were taking copious notes. They are available on our website, and we do have our Gmail address, gsjingle@gmail.com. If you have any queries at all, gsjingle@gmail.com. If you have any queries at all, just shoot us an email and we'll respond to you. And that's also the email to which you should send your entry. So, okay, so we're going to see if we can take Cheryl again, because it's important that we get the O.U.R message. And as our Deputy Director General in charge of public affairs, she's very much invested in this competition. She couldn't be here physically, but she is really committed to making her presentation. Cheryl, can we link with her? Oh, we're calling her. Okay, so should I wait, Lestine, or should I go to the next presentation? Let's go. Okay, so we're going to now take our next presentation. So the two judges, our two other judges will be presenting together, if I'm correct. So Conroy B Wilson is a masterful creative producer, musical director, and professional development coach. He is a founding member and currently the executive director of the Ashe Company, an entertainment, theater arts, social development, and production company which was founded in 1993. Conroy holds a Master's of Arts degree in communication for social and behavior change from the UWI Mona campus, where he has lectured in communication. He's an engaging motivational speaker and a noted edutainment specialist and behavior change communication consultant and trainer. He's a songwriter and arranger and the co-author with Michael Holgate of the self-help book, Your Empowerment GPA. Nigel Staff. With a surname like this, only musicians will get it. Nigel Staff was born to a career in music. Nigel is a consummate record producer, songwriter, band leader, music director, multi-talented musician, and cultural creative consultant. He's been a music industry professional for the past 30 years. I think we should buy a cash pot for 30. I'm seeing it 3 times this morning. And is currently one of Jamaica's most sought after and successful professionals in our entertainment industry. Nigel has written, produced, arranged, directed, toured, and performed with almost every major act out of Jamaica since Bob Marley. He has creatively collaborated with the best in our industry, including Sean Paul, Shaggy, T.O.K., Beanie Man, I-Octane, and I could go on. He has also received the prestigious American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers Songwriter of the Year Award for his songwriting success, and is currently pursuing his PhD in the study of culture in the Department of Humanities and Education at UWI. I don't have to say that these judges come extremely highly qualified. We're extremely fortunate to have them as part of our team, as part of our judging panel. And so at this point, I welcome Conroy Wilson and Nigel Staff.
Morning, good morning, good morning. No, this problem that I have with COVID and the mask thing, I like when people talk to me, I can hear them, I can't bother with the muffle thing. So good morning. Yeah, how are you? You know, most of the things that I want to share with you this morning as it relates to creating a good jingle, a lot of it was shared already by the first judge, who you just heard from. So I'm going to run through it quickly. But I want to ask you, what do you think is a good jingle? If you could think of a good jingle, what comes to mind? Which jingle comes to mind? Which one comes to mind? Partner, workers, how would that go? Bank with your partner, show in your hand. You know that? They don't know a long time jingles. Can see them old. Can see that him old. Come, tell me what jingle comes to mind. Love your body, treat your body right. Which jingle that? Everybody know that. Love your body, treat your body right. Which jingle that? Huh? Okay, let's go to the first video. I tell you one of my favorite jingle. The first video. Pass that one to the first one. Next slide. You know this one. You know this one. This is my favorite jingle. When you hear the music, just want to dance. Yeah, I don't even know what to say now. Just want to dance. Coronation Market, GNGI Shorty, Country Party. You see? You know that, don't you? You've heard it? All right, good. Tell me, what is it advertising? It's advertising. What's advertising what? Car insurance. And you ready to buy a car, sir? I like it. But just from that, I mean, everybody you talk to, once you hear that on TV, literally the first time I heard it, I was in my bathroom. And I said, no, man, what is this? So I rushed out to the bathroom to see what was going on the TV. And from that time, every time it comes on, I'm dancing. What makes it so exciting? What makes it so exciting? Tell me another jingle. What about I Cool Water for Life? How it go? How I Cool go? I cool water. I cool water. I cool. Exactly. Tell me another one. One more. What about Auto Channel? Oh, Auto Channel go. The best wheels on deals. Auto Channel. I love the way you make me. I love the way you make me. Right? What they advertising? Yeah, all right now. What happened to Gaspro? Oh, Gaspro go. 18884. Yeah, you must know for call Gaspro. When you want gas, what's come to your mind? Gaspro. What says yes, sir? CB chicken, how it go? There's another one. Play the next video. Let's see. This one, which is on TV.
Click on your link for my liquor brother pre that slap bro. We don't need that.
Yeah?
And the next thing them type a song they are listening online. What
You know
kind
that
of
one
thing
there?
that some big man pose up on them profile and a put chat to a small child. Watch yourself on social media when you a post back sis. No do nothing too wild. What if your little brother send a post?
Yeah.
What if your bro dead in another crime video? Yeah. What if your little sister take a one pic and it a put up everywhere like it's a poster? Before I share the poster pic,
Yeah.
ask myself what if I nah comment, I nah go click me. Before me ask what if I nah comment, I nah go click me. Before me ask what if so before you share the post the link, just ask yourself what if yeah. When you're there online,
So
make it a new
the
day.
whole point is that it must be something short and something easily remembered. Something that it so seeps into your consciousness, into your awareness that when you think of something, it comes to you. If you went to the States, all of us who watch foreign TV, and we do watch foreign TV, for all of us who watch foreign TV, if you move to the States tomorrow and wanted to buy insurance, what would come to your mind? Geico. Ah, why? State Farm, perhaps. Are you understanding? And that says what an effective jingle is. A short slogan or tune which is designed to be easily remembered. You were saying something? No, Dirty Up Jamaica. Yes, it's a good one. Yes. Love your body, treat your body right. All right, next slide. So what makes a good jingle? I'm going to give you something very, very simple to remember. Next slide. Short, spicy, clear, to the point. You can remember that easily. If we're talking about trying to remember what makes a good jingle, all you have to remember, it must be short, spicy, clear, to the point. What I say it must be? Right, and every good jingle that you can think of should be able to fit in these 5 categories. Let's go to short. What do I mean by short? It's a jingle, it's not a song. Yes, so it don't need verse and bridge, and then you know, we can go on some. It's not I will always love you, and then you're going on and on and on, and then the key change and going to our next one, and it needs to be short, spicy, clear, and to the point. And then you have to think about who is your target audience, who is the person you want to reach out to, and what would appeal to them. So, for example, he sang a jingle earlier. What was the first one he sang for me again? The first jingle he did. Huh? No. When you were here and I asked you for a worker's partner, how it go again? Bank with your partner, show in your hand. Now, these people don't know nothing about no worker's plan. No, I'm saying, and it's a good jingle, but it just probably wouldn't appeal to these people. You understand? Not because it's a bad jingle, but you also have to know who your target audience is. Right? So even the J&GI shorty is a party vibe. By the time you hear it, you want to start dancing. You want to start moving, and that was the intention behind it. So you have to be deliberate with your intention and with your audience to find out what appeals to them. So it has to be short. The next slide is that it has to be spicy. Next one, it has to be spicy. Next slide as well. And what better spicy we have? It must be spicy. No, I put up Spicy's picture there. Spicy. That's why she's Spice. But just a disclaimer, it has to be the clean spicy. Right? Just a disclaimer. Right? So you don't say, the judge did tell you, say you could go do this and that and that. But it's a good example of what appeals and what gets your attention. It has to have a catchy original melody. Now, this is a very, very important thing. The third point. The most memorable lyric over the most memorable melody must be repeated. Let me say that one again. That's a key thing. Don't pass it. The most memorable lyric must be the most memorable melody, and it must be repeated. Right? An example of that. What's an example of that? Something that is repeated. Yeah, J&GI Shorty, Country Party.
The Dirty of Jamaica.
No, Dirty of Jamaica. There's a tag, there's a melody that you keep repeating. The Dirty of Jamaica, the Dirty of Jamaica. If you don't leave in anything else, you leave singing that one line. The same thing, 18884 Gas Pro. You don't need to remember nothing else. 1884 Gas Pro. When you want gas, 18884 Gas Pro. Are you understand? So it's very, very important that you repeat, because it's the repetition that gets it into people's head. They'll hear it one time and it will pass them if it's not repeated. And it's a short time you have, which is why it has to be deliberate. The next one, it must be clear. Very, very clear. People mustn't be trying to guess what it is, right? It must be clear. The tagline and the main message must be clear. What is the main message O.U.R is trying to get out to the public with this jingle? They have a message. And the message is, while O.U.R is important, the message is also important. So you have to decide what is the message they want to get out, and make sure that that message is clear and that the message represents the brand. Right? So it's very, very important. And lastly, to the point, it must be instantly recognizable. Just like how if we play that rhythm, that shorty rhythm, even without the words, you're going to know it's the shorty rhythm, is the J&GI shorty rhythm. If you play 18884 Gas Pro, you're going to say, that sounds familiar. You know what I mean? Because you link all the music and the songs to particular things and to particular entities and institutions. So you have to ensure that it's instantly recognizable. And then, you in your jingle, what action do you want people to take, especially in these kind of jingles? Because this is what we call an edutainment kind of jingle. Most jingles are edutainment. Edutainment means that there's an educational part of it and there's an entertainment part of it. Now, for O.U.R, they want to send a particular message. They want a message to be clear, that people get that very clearly. How is it that your jingle represents that message, and what kind of action do you want people to take? What kind of action do you want people to take? And I keep going back to Shorty. It says country party, you have a Shorty. In other words, go and take out this 3 months insurance. I never hear about 3 months insurance in my life. But are you understanding? If I was thinking along that line, then I would say, oh, here's an idea. That is something that they were introducing to the population that was just happening for the first time in Jamaica. Nowhere else offers 3 months insurance in that way. And so it was a good opportunity for them to be able to get your attention, which is the first thing you have to do. You have to cut through the crowd and the noise and get people's attention, right? And then after you get their attention, you have to tell them what you want to tell them. Tell them what you have told them, and tell them again, right? And the last thing is, last slide, is that a good feedback loop is necessary. Yeah, so, and I'm not saying now, sometimes you have friends who will tell us everything sounds good because them is your friend. No, those are not real friends. You need some friends who will tell us, look here, no, that's not working. Love you dearly, but you've got to dash that and come again. You need to surround yourself with some people who can give you good feedback on what you have created and who can be honest with you, preferably people who know the business, people who have some experience. And you can also, your regular friends, and regular is in quotes, can tell you if this is appealing to them. Because if they're a part of the target audience, they can say, oh, yeah, okay. You can say to them, what did you get from this song? And they can tell you. And if it's a melody that rings true for them, they'll keep singing it. If it's a melody, if you sing the melody of a song, an original melody that rings true to somebody, even after you finish that conversation, they'll keep singing the melody. That's how you know that the melody is memorable, right? And so it's important. And it's always good to have a mentor or a coach. Always, always, always good. In life, generally. But especially now, when you're trying to win $250,000, it's good to have a mentor or a coach to get into it. Now, we are practical people, so Nigel will take you through the practical part of it.
Good morning, everybody. No, man, we're coming like we're still asleep. Good morning, everybody. All right, so have we been enjoying ourselves? And have we been learning? So I've been sitting here all morning and I've been listening and learning, reading the rubrics and the rules. And kind of intimidated still because it's a whole lot of stuff to learn. 1, 2, to condense into a 30-second or 1-minute jingle. But that's why I'm here. We're going to try. So all the people here in front of me, we're going to make a jingle today. With all of this information that we got, we're going to try to make a simple jingle that is supposed to cover all the bases that we spoke about and we learned about today. So we're making a jingle for the O.U.R guaranteed standards. What does that mean? Can anybody say? Nobody never learned. So basically, and Lizzie can correct me and guide me as we go along. So the O.U.R has been set up to be the quote-unquote watchdogs for a lot of companies, in particular the JPS and the National Water Commission. And you know, everybody have JPS and everybody have problem with Water Commission. So it was set up by the government? It was set up by the O.U.R Basic Service Standards. Right. To hold them accountable. Enough time we go pay our bill, enough time we utilities get cut off, and we feel we've been shafted, right? So basically now, we are trying to let the audience and the demographic of Jamaica know that the O.U.R is set up and there's a guaranteed standards division, right? That is monitoring the quality service that these two companies in particular set up. Good. So as all paying utility customers, what's the problem we have with JPS? We don't have to like get deep into it, but we are there to, we know the problems that they have, right? That we have with them. Say again? Imaginary billing, inaccurate billing, lack of refunds, stuff like that. So we are going to make an ad that is going to called the O.U.R and brand them. We're gonna do the same ad that has the guarantee standards and brand that. We're gonna not be defamatory or aggressive towards the JPS or the Water Commission and show that we're all working together to give a better service and holding each other quote unquote accountable. Right? Sounds like a plan? Alright, so I got up this morning and I made a little rhythm for 30 seconds and we're going to see if it works. Oh, before we go there, what kind of demographic are we talking about? Because Conroy spoke about demographic. Who are we trying to reach? Who are we trying to reach in this ad? The people who pay these bills. Where are we necessarily trying to meet, trying to reach those who aren't paying the bills, the younger crowd? I would say yes, because they're coming up to a stage and age in their life where they will become bill payers. So it's basically we're sensitizing them to the fact that in a few years you'll be a bill payer for the JPS and the Water Commission, and this is a system that is set up that you need to be aware of, that you can tap into. All right, so let us so we're basically trying to get everybody, so to speak. Let's see. Are we getting sound? No. Remember, one of the rules says that the music mustn't be too loud. We need to hear this. So we're gonna, is this a good volume? Too loud? That's cool, alright. So, what's the O.U.R tagline? I think Liz needs to get a microphone because good. Liz, I think you need to take this mic. You're gonna be my partner today. Okay, so let me loop this properly. So, does the guarantee standards have a tagline as well?
No, but if you look in your press kits, you will see the JPS guaranteed standards. That's a red brochure.
Okay. So, the first thing we're realizing that we have to do research. So, we learn all of the things, we've read all the rules and stuff. So, we're going to target and we're going to eliminate stuff. Bring stuff to the fore that we need to make our jingle work. So our jingle must have O.U.R, Office of Utilities Regulation, regulating utilities for the benefit of all. Do we start the jingle with that or do we end the jingle with that? Say again? You can start and end? Okay, no problem. I would end with it because you usually remember the last thing first. Outside of repetition, you usually remember the last thing that's said first. So I would always, at the end of the ad, say, O.U.R, Office of Utilities Regulation. That. Okay? What else do we need? Second? Function in terms of what? I think the tagline does that. Yeah, the tagline does that. So, O.U.R, regulating utilities for the benefit of all. My ad end. And that shows that everything we just talked about is under the heading of the O.U.R. Make sense?
That makes the O.U.R necessary.
Okay, good. Very good. Extremely good. Because, as we just discussed, we have problems with accountability for the National Water Commission, public service, right? So, can we start the ad with a problem? Should we? But do we want to throw them under the bus, or can we find a way to highlight the problem without and appealing to the audience? Because we've been to the National Water Commission and seen people go at it, and we've seen the scenes, and security has to get involved. Can we find a way to bring these problems to the fore in this kind of space without that unpleasantness? Oh. Okay, so can we list 3 problems between National Water Commission and the JPS that we can use it as?
Me don't know why. That's a
Yeah,
line.
like that songwriter, yeah. My bill high and me don't know why, yeah? Who's writing? Somebody needs to write this down because this is good. My bill high and me don't know why. That's one. So my bill is high, me don't know why. What else is that? And we don't know why. Because remember, repetition is very important. So we don't know why our bills are high. What else we don't know? Say again? That's a very good line. Very good line. We need help. And that's what the O.U.R and the guarantee standards provide. But we still need a problem. We still need to highlight at least one more problem. So we have high bills. What else do we have? Poor service? Do we have... I'm just throwing out stuff. I mean... So are they inefficient? Okay, so my bill is high, I don't know why. Trying a nice way to put. Yeah.
I would say unreliability would be
Yes.
another negative.
Okay, so unreliable service.
Yes.
Right. So we have a high bill, we have unreliable service, and we need to hold them accountable. Those 3 things were? Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, I lost it. I was gonna say something like, I would like to rely on, I want to rely on, and then O.U.R. or whatever.
Still missing out a line though, because we've only highlighted one problem.
But if that could be like the repeater, so the chorus.
No, there's no chorus.
I don't know.
Remember, it's not adding, we're just repeating
Oh, so
taglines.
Okay.
Right,
okay.
so it's not we're not writing a song, remember, we're writing an ad. So we need to know we have a problem and we don't know why we have this problem. We have another problem. We don't know why we have these problems. And we need help to fix them. So we need that second line. Can check online to what's our online people doing. Yeah, let's check online because we need to find that second line or that second problem to highlight in a line, and then we'll be able to say, how do we fix this? How do we tackle this? And that's where the
Somebody says lighter cut off all the while.
Yeah. Some more ideas. Some more. Unreliability what? Nice, but I think that line, this is my opinion, I think that line will go above most of the paying customers' heads. I don't mean this in a bad way. Because remember, the niche market we're trying to appeal to, yeah, we have to keep it simple. My bill is high, I don't know why. And we don't have to rhyme either, you know. We just need to state what the problem is.
So somebody says the bill high and me no know why it now cut down no matter how me try.
No problem. Good. We still need another problem. We can't just. True. He's saying there are some people that don't get bills at all.
Right, so that's a good point, Nigel, because we do have the guaranteed standards. If you look at the brochure you have in your kit, it addresses things like if you get too many estimated bills, you're not getting your actual bills. That's an issue right there.
Right.
If you apply for a connection and it takes too long, that's another issue right there. So there are a lot of things that can be addressed by looking.
Because my bill is high, I don't know why. May I get pure estimate, that.
Yes.
Whatever. And then we can say, how do I fix this? So we're pulling our creativity together. So let's think of a line. We still need to identify at least one more problem that we're having. And the first problem is high bills. Our bill is high. We can, if we can, but we don't have to. Because most ads don't rhyme. Because it's really information you're trying to get out. I don't mind. So, that's a nice line. Poor communication. Yes, too frequent estimate. Yeah, that's not a bad line at all. The second half of the line, can we simplify it a little more to make it zone into the fact that our bills are being estimated? Can we fine tune that some more? Tell me the line again. Poor communication. Yeah. Too much estimate.
Or too much.
Too much estimation. Yeah. Not bad. So.
Too much estimation.
First line was bill high, I don't know why. Poor communication, too much estimation. We're going on good enough. So, where do we go to for help? O.U.R. guarantee standards list. Which one? Because O.U.R. is a big umbrella. Are we going to guaranteed standards or are we going to O.U.R.? Give me the mic.
Yeah, one of the things that Wayne had said was that the O.U.R. should be mentioned. Either O.U.R. or the Office of Utilities Regulation. Like that should be mentioned.
Which we said we're going to put at the end. Remember we have the headline already.
Okay.
When the ad finishes, they hear O.U.R. Regulating utilities for the betterment of all. So that line safe enough. So we have 3 lines so far. So
I have a suggested chorus when you reach there, yeah?
No man, we could hear it man. We have two all the things together because as Conroy says, we're our biggest critics, you know.
Okay. I'm gonna try a thing. You can push up the rhythm just a little tiny bit.
We have a songwriter in the place, man.
No, so we're trying, you know. Alright, so you guys have to help me to finish this. Tell the O.U.R, tell them your problem. Tell the O.U.R, yes, them will solve them. Regulating the youth. Tell the O.U.R, tell them your problem. Tell the O.U.R, yes, them will solve them. Regulating utilities for the benefit of all.
Nice. I like that. So we've seen this is not hard, you know. We just need to zone in to who we're writing it for. We need to zone into the experience that's unpleasant that we're trying to fix. And we need to present it in a way that we remember that it's the O.U.R. Remember that there's a guaranteed standards division. And remember that we're holding the National Commission, Water Commission, and the JPS accountable. And we're not trying to beat them bad. Okay? How much time we have left? So we have like how much time left because I don't think we'll be able to finish the ad per se, but this is just a good example of how easy all this information that we've got today can turn into one of the ads that we just went through that we cannot forget. And that's why this competition is so easy, so simple, even though the information may look hard and cumbersome sometimes. So, I mean, I think it was a great exercise we had today, and I wish wish we had like half an hour more because I'm sure we'd have finished that. Like, of course, we read a moment nice line. Bridge, you know, there, so we'll catch the first line nice. So, for all the audience, especially out in the virtual world, let's make this competition a really good competition because Jamaica is the most creative place per capita in the world, and we have the talent and we have the wherewithal to do it. So let's raise the standard and let's make it work. All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much, staff. I call him staff. I won't date myself by saying that staff and I went to school together and we're from the same parish, but all right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Conroy. Thank you very much, Nigel. I'm sure you all found that informative, did you? Yes? Okay, so we look forward to getting some great lyrics from you as well as great melody and great music. Cheryl Lewis, we're taking her now. Cheryl, are you there? Cheryl Lewis is our Deputy Director, one of our Deputy Directors General at the O.U.R, and she has a message for us. Cheryl.
Yes, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
But to see the interest in the competition highlighted by the number of participants we have turning out for this event. I see approximately 64 persons online and the number of persons within the actual space as well. In so many ways, this has been a very unusual year. As we all know, COVID-19 has restricted our ability to socialize, but nonetheless, life has to go on, and this is why the O.U.R is undertaking this jingle competition to ensure that customers are protected and persons know about the O.U.R. So again, we'd like to thank everyone attending the launch. And I have seen that there was an exciting package on the agenda, which I see much enthusiasm for so far. And despite our change in the mode of engagement and presentation, we're hoping that there is high energy and enthusiasm in the response to the competition. So we're looking forward to some really good jingles. As highlighted, the guaranteed standards are really very important to the O.U.R and to the customers of the utility service providers. Several years ago, the O.U.R developed the guaranteed standards for the two major utility companies, which has been highlighted, Jamaica Public Service Company Limited and the National Water Commission. And this was essentially to ensure that service providers are held accountable to deliver high-quality service standards to customers. Also, with the advent of new players, primarily in the water and sewage sectors in recent times, we have also developed guaranteed standards for small private water providers. Each about 18 months or so, the O.U.R conducts its national customer satisfaction survey. And this is essentially done to get a feel of the pulse of both consumers and customers of service providers regarding their satisfaction levels and the quality of service that is being delivered to them. Data from the last 3 national customer satisfaction surveys really indicated that the awareness of the guaranteed standards by residential and business customers remain limited. And many customers have stated that they know little to nothing about the service standards for both JPS and NWC, which is a shame because of the kind of hard work which O.U.R has put into ensuring that these guaranteed standards are in place. And the O.U.R is really seeking to change this. And the Guaranteed Standards Jingle competition is but one of the ways the O.U.R is seeking to increase awareness about the guaranteed standards. The objective really is to get persons engaged and assist them to become more aware of the guaranteed standards so that if they get their bills late, they know that they ought to be compensated and to hold the companies accountable for these standards. So one of the obvious methods which we chose, and this is the jingle competition, is really to tap into, harness, and capture the best of the depth of the Jamaican creative talents that are out there. We know it, we live it every day, and therefore we wish to see it being encapsulated and incorporated in our own everyday affairs here at O.U.R and on the radio and on the television, and to educate. We expect the winning jingle will stand the test of time. According to Jamaicans, we don't want any quote-unquote fly-by-night, but we know that the talent is there to deliver, and it is not subject to any trend or fad. We have to be cognizant of the fact that we are a regulatory agency and that a certain stature has to be maintained, as was indicated by the judges. The lyrics must be clean, spicy, but clean. We're looking forward to the jingle being either in standard English, patois, a blend of both. We are not discriminatory in that regard. But as indicated by the judges, the message is to be clear and can come across all demographics. So we just don't want the young people, we want the middle age, we want the elderly to capture their imagination, and I'm sure the talent is there to do that. We also expect the jingle to be versatile, appropriate, and it will resonate with O.U.R's audience, incorporating relevant elements such as the lyrics, the melody, the rhythm, run the rhythm, as they say, with the target audience. So, and I would just, we also incorporated the schools, as we have been doing with most of our competitions, because we want to capture the next generation, to make them more aware of what we do, and how we do, and why we do. And so it is very, very important to us. So I'd like to encourage everyone to enter the competition. If you know somebody who is creative like that, to tell them about it and encourage them to enter the competition. You see that we have prizes of significant amounts of money, especially in this COVID-19 time, which would be really good for everyone. So I wish you all the best, and let your creative juices flow, and so that we can tap in and really enjoy a very good O.U.R jingle. I thank you all.
Thank you so much, Cheryl, and we're really, really happy that we're able to take your message. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. It's just left for me to really thank you so much for being a part of this launch and creative workshop today. We really hope you got a lot of information that you can use. Now I want to say go forth and create that great jingle. Thank you to Cheryl, our Deputy Director General, who was really able to join us virtually, and her message was well delivered and received. Avery Crooks, Music Development Specialist at the JCDC. Thank you so much, Ms. Crooks. Matthew Silpot, Music Education Officer at the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. Thank you very much. To our judges, Wayne Mcgregor, Conroy Wilson, staff, Niger staff, thank you so very much for being here today, for lending your expertise in terms of imparting valuable tips and advice. We had in our audience today Edna Manley School for the Visual and Creative Arts, Mr. Andre Adman, who is in charge of the School of Music, is here today. Thank you so much, Mr. Adman. The Combined Disabilities Association is represented here today because quite a number for significant musicians. And I think of Roy Dunbar, who plays the keyboard, and I think of my very good friend Sidney Thorpe, who is part of the Fab Five team, who couldn't be here today. He really wanted to, but you know, Fab Five is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year, and so they were busy in studio all week this week, just putting a lot of things together as part of that anniversary. So he sends his warm regards and sends his apologies for not being here today. Secondary schools who came out, Kingston High came out, and other secondary level schools that came out. Miss Russell from the Music Teachers Association, thank you so much. Saretsi Small was here as well. To whom if I left out anyone, I sincerely apologize, but I want to also recognize the O.U.R team headed by Yvonne Nicholson, who was on location today. Thank you very much. And for our technical services, couldn't have been made possible without visual tech team, and I want to thank you so very much. They're responsible for today's proceedings, both physically on location as well as our Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube feed. If you want to see this recording again, you can always go to our YouTube page, the O.U.R's YouTube page. It's easy to find, and you can always watch and refer the workshop to other persons who may not be able to log on. Once again, thank you so very much, and we look forward to hearing from you, and we look forward to creating great jingles together. I'm Elizabeth Bennett Marsh of the Office of Utilities Regulation. Stay safe. Lunch is now served. Thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, please, lunch is here. It's to go, but you can always sit and eat. COVID protocols being observed. Please feel free to help yourself. We have a choice of chicken, mostly chicken, and fish.